Okay. Good morning, everyone. Again, this is the final day of our block 4, where we are going to knock off assessment task 3, develop personal work priority, BSBPEF402. As usual, please fill in all the cover sheet details, your signature, date, everything. There are 3 parts: implement work plan and schedule to identify, report, and any variations, seek and document feedback on performance, seek and document feedback on performance, analyze and evaluate feedback and variances to update the plan. So that's the 3 part. Skills in this unit must be demonstrated in a workplace or a simulated environment where the conditions are typical of those in a working environment in this industry. There is an Appendix A and any workplace documentation resources relevant to the task. Okay, we know the deadline. What did we decide? 13th of November? Yeah, 13th of November. Okay, prior to the due date, which is 13th. Assessment, I'll just write it here, 13/11/2022. My God, I was going to write 5022. Yeah, then it take about 40 births to reach that year. Okay, again, there is a video, so please be mindful of that. Part 1, implement and review work plan and schedule. Implement and plan work schedule as developed in assessment task 2. In task 2, you develop something. Okay, now you're reviewing. Use business technology to keep running of to keep a running record of activity. So you need to use business technology. Don't just say Microsoft Word or something. It's not a technology. It's just a writing tool. Yeah. Noting any changes required on a plan throughout the implementation. Document and review the following. You're going to review all this. You will submit this document review in your final portfolio work for the assessment task. So what I would say, this is an appendix which I haven't, that's fine. What I would say is develop a report. So I need an additional file. Okay. Throughout the implementation document, review the following, right? You will submit this documented review in your final portfolio of work for this assessment task. I need this document from you. You can create any template however you like. Completion of scheduled tasks, variation between planned and actual activity, management of resources. Why I haven't provided any template? Because you are going to use some business technology. Now, which technology will you use? Either is Trello, Anydo, Monday.com, Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, any other tools. There are many out there. Asana is one of the popular one, and that's why it won't be good template structure. So just copy this point, completion of schedule, just make a report like I'm sure all of you would be doing in your workplace, and we have done it in all the other units. Yeah. Meeting any requirement, clients need KPI, modification, alteration to the required plan, implementation of contingency plan, communication with stakeholder, including feedback, self-evaluation of performance. Okay. Jacqueline, the points are here. Just write down that you need to prepare the report here. Okay, that's your part 1. Oh, cool. Part 2, feedback on the work performance, which is a video task. Sorry, I don't like so much of brand font. So what I'm going to do, I'll make it black again. And maybe make them with italic and have this. Yeah. Your work plan developed in AT2 assessment task 2 was to contain monitoring and review strategy, including a check-in with your manager. Now, right. Right. So your work plan development task was to contain some monitoring review strategy, including a check-in with your manager of how you are going, right? Organize to meet with your manager to discuss and seek further feedback on your performance. Like I said, manager role can be played by various candidates. You decide who is the appropriate manager. Okay? Meet with your manager under the observation of your assessor. I don't say either in person because that doesn't apply to us right now. Via recording, refer to the instructions students for more information. That's all good. This may be your workplace manager, a colleague, a classmate, a friend. When you say friend, why can't be a family member? Isn't it? Now, I'm not coming there and say, oh, this is not your friend, this is a family member. It's all fine. Yeah, friend or family member, literally anyone. Yeah, that can role play effectively and provide you with relevant feedback. What you will do, select the manager, give them a piece of paper or a screen where they can read what they are saying. Okay, that will be very efficient rather than the actual feedback. Maybe you won't be happy with the actual feedback. Yeah, I'm sure some of you are working with Naomi. If Naomi will give you the actual feedback, you might not like it. So better if Naomi is playing the role of a manager, right? Then give Naomi a script as a manager what she should be saying. Yeah, and this is what she is saying rather than the actual feedback. Yeah, I mean, you can just make it look more relevant. Okay? During this meeting, seek your manager's feedback and recommendation through discussion of your review on project planning and progress, including any variation between planned and actual, is identified in a review of the work plan schedule and your self-evaluation. Document the feedback and recommendation on your plan. So this is the second thing that you need to add. A recording, right? And some feedback, how you're documenting that. Okay. Part 3, analyze and update plan. Collect the information and feedback collected, analyze, evaluate your work performance. One thing about part 2, sorry, that I must highlight, any variation between planned and actual, that's very important. You need to have a justifiable reason. Let's say your planned date was 31st October, and you say, no, I'm nowhere near to 31st October. The manager needs to know why, isn't it? Right? If you're too early, why are you too early? Didn't you count the actual date? Right? Or if you're too late, then again, same thing with the expense, the dollar value. If you have spent a lot, okay, then they should be able to say, oh, why such a variation, right? With spending less, there won't be so much of that you need to explain. Oh, just got a better bargain, that's it. Okay. Part 3, collect the information and feedback collected to analyze and evaluate your work performance. Analyze the variances to identify required changes in the planning, schedule, and work performance. Monitor and update work plan and schedule, reflect any feedback, changes in the circumstances. Write a simple report to document the following part. Report should address introduction, description and everything, the body part, the conclusion part. Okay. Again, what is the introduction? It's a description of the project, summarize the objective, how you design your personal work schedule to achieve this task. The body, summarize the review of the plan, any variation, planned and actual, any contingency already implemented, right? Contingency already implemented. Outline the areas of improvement, identify from the feedback and reflection, identify how improvement align with the organization procedure. And lastly, the conclusion part. Summarize the content and key outcome of the report, finalize recommendation for improvement, attach modified work plan and schedule. Okay, don't, either you can attach it within the document, within the email, or a separate file. Okay. What to submit to complete assessment task 3? Reviewed plan and schedule, noting amendment, self-evaluation and manager feedback. Meeting with the supervisor is a recording. I don't say in person because I'm not there. And report with the modified work plan and schedule. What you can do, okay, is, okay, as I have written here, I'll talk about it later. I created 2 different versions of file. Yeah. What you can do, you can say submission of AT3, right? You can say part 1. And copy and paste that part here. Oops, not like that. I want it to match with the actual one. Right, bang, bang. And then I would write about all the things that I need to have here. With the reviewed plan and action, I'll go to part 1, and I must ensure all this thing is captured or reviewed. So I'll copy this, okay, and just paste it here. And I mean, just make it look nice. But by doing so, you are not missing any point, right? Completion of scheduled tasks. I got contaminated from Julius. The virtual contamination. Yeah, these days virtual hug is very common. You know, if you miss someone, oh, give me a virtual hug. I mean, you are on a screen. I mean, it looks silly, right? But let me share a fact. Yawning is virtual contamination. I have proofs. Right? If someone yawns on the screen very loud, it doesn't give the germs, but I can say it's very much contamination, at least in my case. Yeah. Right. So please capture it this way. So what's going to happen? You don't miss any part. Okay, so that's your part 1. Then about part 2, meeting with the supervisor. Just one of my students, I mean, she did it in a very nice way. I'll try if I can recall what she did. Attach the video in a Word file. Okay, let me see, I can do it. Maybe I'll just do it anyway. Maybe I can go insert. Let's go insert, and there is some media or something. Pictures I can add in. Oh, there is online video or links, right? You can upload it somewhere, YouTube or embedded, or you can paste the link to anything. You can just store it and link it anywhere. Oh, there you are. You can link it, save it in the same folder and pick up. Let's say if I do that, learner's guide. Where did it go? Oh, there you are. It's there. Link to that one. So the moment I click it, that should open. Yeah, that should open, right? So that was a fancy way. I don't want you to do it that way, but I'm just telling that's another option. So one file, if you hate to submit multiple files, one file that contains everything. Okay? That's fine. You can do it that way. Cool. So is everything clear? What we are doing? Just follow this part. This is the most important part of the document. Yeah, what to submit. And like I said, submission of AT3. If you have to create report, I would have a title part 3, the report with all the subpoints, all the title. Okay, just to reduce the file size, I'm going to delete all these things so you don't get confused. I mean, you can view the recording and follow any hint. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This is shortcode. I haven't changed a lot. Okay. Yes. Any question, concern?